So I finally got this cylinder head off, and as we can see inside the exhaust ports, the exhaust manifold should I say, signs of K-seal or water. And going down onto the cylinder head, sorry, on the cylinder head, onto the cylinder block. This is number 3 cylinder, and as we can see around the front of it, it's nice and shiny, but around the back, there you go, I think the head gasket has gone. So that is good. I'm seeing signs. Oh, there we go. So the sealing surface at the front of number 4 cylinder, you can see how shiny it is around here. You can see where a gasket would lay, about 3mm away from the piston. And as you go round, it doesn't look good around the back there, does it? It looks like it's gone there. And I believe that's where the head gasket's blown. Well, apart from having to make a special tool to get injectors out, which I've just made, took about 3 or 4 hours to make the special tool. That injector's leaking. That one has been replaced previously. That looks original and okay, and this one's got a leak of some description. Slight improvement. Might clean them up a bit before I put them back in again. Obviously I'm putting them in storage at the moment while I'm taking the head to pieces, but they've cleaned up okay. So fingers crossed they'll work when they go back in again. So that's good. I'm still contemplating taking the cylinder head for pressure testing, but I'm going to have to clean it all up first and make sure that I am 100% certain the head gasket's gone. I want to try and get it done before the weekend, but it ain't looking good. And I'm pretty sure we've got head gasket blown here, and also there's signs of it here as well. So I'm looking more happy that the head gasket's blown, although I'm not happy that the head gasket's blown, if you know what I mean. But we are looking at watering that cylinder, look at the rust, watering that cylinder, look at the rust, watering that cylinder, look at the rust. And there's ever such a slight little bit on that one, not too much. So see the rust on the glow plugs? You only get rust on glow plugs when you got water in the cylinders. And obviously here's the gasket. That's number 4 cylinder. This is number 3 cylinder, and that black sootiness at the top there, that's correlates to that black sootiness that's on the cylinder head. I haven't wiped this at all, I've just taken this off and let it dry. Good practice. And it looks like it's pinched at the bottom here. There we go, right there. You see the pinch at the bottom there? Looks like it's been pinched there. So I think this bloke who put this together was a complete and utter twat, basically. And it's probably been pinched there as well. And to be fair, when I took the head bolts out, only one felt like it had been torqued up. I think he probably snapped his tool and got pissed off. So I'm cleaning it. Obviously a little bit's just dribbling out at the moment, but then we come up here and I'm about to clean this side up here. And yeah, the bloke who rebuilt this is a freaking idiot. It's got a tap broken in it. Look. So I'm going to fetch that out now as well. Yeah, that's better. That's getting towards being acceptable now. I'll be quite happy to put that back on my engine. I think most people will be quite happy with that back on their engine. She shines. Okay, so I'm measuring the cylinder block, and I've got half a thou of warp at the front here, nothing to worry about, so that's all good. And I'm just starting to clean the exhaust manifold up, ready for installation. We do have a slight problem though, so I've got this straight edge across it, and this is a 4 thou feeler gauge. It starts catching there. Right, so I've done some measurements, and I sanded it for a while, about an hour and a half, and I got nowhere really, which is quite hard aluminium when you try to sand it. So I've just gone round with my depth gauge, or whatever, so, and then I've measured my depths, and I might be able to do this on my milling machine without taking the valves out. So wish me luck, because if this goes wrong I need a new cylinder head. I ain't going to get this skim today, and well, getting it down to an engineering firm on Monday is extremely difficult for me as well on a push bike. So I'm going to try it on the milling machine and see how it goes. So I just spent 2.5 to 3 hours making sure the top of this head is in alignment in both ways. You can adjust it. It's called nod, up and down, and you can adjust it tram side to side. And if you haven't got that right, you make a mess of it. And I got this tool here from a workshop in Coventry, and they were using this on my other machine there to do decks on cylinder heads and sumps. So this is the right tool to do it with, but setting it up takes a long time. So at present I am not certain whether I was doing a video for this or not, but this is the cylinder head off my Land Rover Freelander. I have just completed measurements on it. I've sanded heavily on this edge and I've sanded heavily on this edge. Got 6 thou in the centre. I've got it down to about 5.5 thou, and I thought, no chance. So 5 thou is around about 16 hundredths of a millimetre, and I've got 14 hundredths of a millimetre here and 13 hundredths of a millimetre here. A 2 thou feeler gauge, I'm now working in thousandths and millimetres, so that's all I can do at the moment. So a 2 thou feeler gauge goes in around about here on the line with that valve, and here on the line with that valve. So when I'm skimming this, I will skim it till I'm close to the valves, because I think I should take the valves out on this one, but I'm going to try and skim it without taking the valves out. I have just trimmed the head. It took 3 hours, well, 2.5 hours to trim the head. I was going backwards and forwards, but it is trimmed. And I'm now just plumbing the wiring into the Bridgeport, and I will disconnect the Bridgeport and connect the Hawk to the Bridgeport's power. I think that should be enough. We'll just double check everything on it just to make sure. Obviously we've got the power rating on the motor there. So as you can see, it is that. I couldn't really see it. So I'm just going to make sure that's all compatible. If not, I'll get another inverter out, another VFD, and get it hooked up to this one.
you're wondering, that was a cat sneaking in. Let's see what we got then. So at present, I am stopping there because I think we were touching absolutely everywhere. You could probably take another skim off of it. I might take another thou off of it just so it clears everywhere. Dear, what we're looking at. Yeah, I might just take one more cut, but you've seen way enough. So after I've finished doing the cutting, what I'll do is, it's a really smooth finish, very nice. Yeah, that's definitely good enough. Apart from that bit there, there's a bit of scratching there. Dear, a bit of scratching up here. So I might just sand that now. With this video because I'm doing multiple videos. Anyway, I've put the 2 exhaust valves in here and the 1 exhaust valve in here. The head's measured up less than half a thousandths in the centre. It just about started at half thousandths does. I wasn't going to take it any further. As you can see, there's still some head gasket lines left inside it, but as predicted, from about here and from about here is where the most material was taken off, because I could basically fit a 5 thou feeler gauge in there and a 5 thou feeler gauge in there and about a 2 thou feeler gauge in just at the start of the valves there, and then 6 thou all the way down to the rest of the head. Now when I had it on the milling table, I did the old shake it side to side from both edges. When it was laying this way, it pivoted exactly in the centre. Perfect. It was just a perfect sway. So that means this bottom surface is straight. When I flipped it over, it was pivoted on the edges still, because it's still just slightly low in the centre here. I don't want to take all the material off because you're just increasing compression on these 2 cylinders a little bit now. So you know, this is the thing when you're skimming ahead, you just got to be careful how much you're taking off, because especially on a turbocharged engine like this, you don't want to increase the compression ratio too much. So after skimming the head, I've got to repair injector number 4 seat. 1, 2 and 3 are okay. Number 4's got a couple of great big pits in it. As you can see, I flipped it back over the other side, and the measurements here across the top surface here are the depths down the injector tubes to the lands at the bottom where the sealing washers are. So number 1 cylinder 104, 19, then we had 12, then we had 13, then we had 30. So that one was worn out a little bit more, but after getting it as clean as what I got it, I'll insert a picture here somewhere of it. I've took out 4mm. It's a lot of material. So I've got to measure a sealing washer, see how thick they are, and then I've got to put 2 in. One sealing washer for a start, then a steel washer, and then another sealing washer, and then the injector. That's what's going to happen on that one, just to space it out. Then the people that do it in the future, if everybody ever has to do this again in the future, when they get that out, they'll go, oh, what's that? Yeah, okay, I see what he's done there, like, yeah, and then they'll put 2 washers in with the metal bit in between. If they've got any sense about them, if they're retards like the person that took this engine to pieces in the first place, they might get lost doing what they've done.
Here we are.